Bill Lee, the answer is, as Meghnad Desai of the London School of Economics would say, capitalism is about profit. Gridlock really doesn't get in the way of profit, does it?
No, in fact, gridlock, the lack of gridlock actually brought us a lot of policy initiatives. Now I think the markets are hoping that gridlock will lock in those initiatives and not allow them to be reversed. So I think the gridlock is welcomed by the markets, and we see the stock market reaction the last couple of days has really verified that.
Part of this bill, and one of the themes of the election, was the death of American exceptionalism, or maybe the reaffirmation or desire to see it. In a gilded age, can there be an American exceptionalism, or are things going to be changing over the next 2 or 3 years?
Well, American exceptionalism was brought about by financial markets and how we've innovated financial markets. We're doing that again because the role of private equity now has provided more corporate financing than IPOs. It used to be that IPOs provided more than half of the corporate financing. Now it's private equity. And I think that change in financial markets is influencing how investment strategies are being put in place, and also how we go about making public policy, because we're not recognizing the source of this new funding. And Jack's clients are all clamoring to get into private equity deals. So I think that's something that we at Milken are looking at, and it's a very important topic to understand that private equity is now the new force in financial markets, which is the basis of the new American capitalism going forward.
Jack, you want to comment on that?
Yeah, in fact, one leg of Crescent's business is Crescent Capital Partners, where we supplement our wealth management effort with direct investment in real estate, direct investment in private equity. And, you know, you're right. It's stocks, bonds, cash, it's buildings and companies. That's why our clients are with Crescent.
And Jack, you know, private equity has gotten really bad rap because it says, a lot of people are saying, well, private equity gets things done by firing people and destroying jobs. We at Milken, my co-researcher Jacob Vilhelmus and I, are coming out with evidence in a note that shows that private equity firms actually grow employment faster than non-private equity firms when they go public. So when you take apples to apples comparisons of IPO firms, the ones associated with private equity actually show more employment growth. So there's a lot of misconceptions out there that we're trying to unravel.
Jack?
Yeah, no, when we buy a company, we want it for 100 years. We're buying it low leverage, long term. We're going to use the cash flow from the business to pay dividends, not have to pay down debt, which means we're not firing people. We're not engineering the company to flip it. We want to own it like a family owns a business.
But the real policy agenda, though, is that can we get more investors into private equity? Right now in the U.S., only qualified investors can participate in that. And I think that's the social problem that has to be solved. The SEC's got to change its rulings.
Well, I'll let you have a cup of coffee with the newly minted Speaker Pelosi of California on that, Bill Lee. I'm sure she'll be all ears. William Lee, thank you so much for joining us.